The following recording is somewhat rough. It was recorded on a mobile device in a coffee shop with zero visuals and only a couple players. It is unedited, apart from adding music. I am leaving it in this format so that you may see how I run D&D without touching things up and hiding the details and ad-lib. This is the most raw form of how I DM, and I hope you enjoy. It was the 21st century, over a decade since the last great mission by the SGC to the Pegasus Galaxy, and 5 years since the start of the Phoenix Project. Phoenix was the Milky Way galaxy's best effort to train Stargate command personnel for any oncoming threat. Made up of trainees from many races, it seeks to provide a protective force against any who dare to enslave or conquer the peaceful planets within its reach. This is the story of a daring team of Tauri, Nox, and a droid. Their mission is to protect Earth and its allies. The year is 2021. Their name is SG-53.
Okay, recording's going. Cool. All right. So, who was in the last session? Because I think Megan wasn't there. Were you the only one who wasn't there, Megan? And Tim?
I mean, I definitely wasn't there.
I wasn't there. Hank, were you there?
Naturally.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
So this
Yikes.
recap will be rather important to the two of you. And Tim doesn't have all of the information, but that's okay. He can catch up on that later. His character doesn't need to know all of it right now anyway. So, I'll give you a brief summary. Synopsis, that's the word. You guys,
Synopsis.
2 sessions ago, left to go back to Fulsudar to try to collect Walt's crashed ship. And in the process, you ended up finding Captain Sikasso and you saved him. And you met the friendly pirate, Sean Jericho. Sean Jericho was a runner, meaning he had a tracker in his back. He was being chased by Trandoshans for sport. You took the tracker out of his back because you have a doctor on board who's trained. It was actually relatively easy. Sean just wasn't able to do it on his own. And he was forever grateful. And he said, one more thing, if you can help me save my abducted daughter, then I will be there anytime you need me. You just say the word, and I'll be there. Doesn't matter what the problem is. The fight, if it's something else, he'll be there. So you, 1 session ago, started on the trip to rescue his daughter. His daughter was stolen by witches. And from what he understands, this is all kind of hearsay. You don't know if this is true or not. He acquired this information and is operating under the belief that it's true. And so if some of it proves to be untrue, that would be news to Jericho. But this is what you think is going on, is that his daughter Lily was abducted by the Twilight Whisperers, a rogue offshoot radical offshoot of the Night Sisters from Dathomir, which he would have told you where they're from. You wouldn't know where Dathomir is. They stole Lily. Yeah, they abducted Lily, and they're on a planet called Olninus. He was able to sort of find out that information through several years of being a runner. He's been a runner for 2 years, and so the whole time he had his mind set on trying to find his daughter, and so he was finding information, and he'd have a few hours of being able to stop before the Trandoshans would catch up to him. So he used that time to kind of collect information on finding his daughter. But in order to get to Olninus, you have to go through a different planet called Trokahiri. Actually, it's a moon, not a planet. You have to go there and perform a ritual, a blood sacrifice ritual, in order to gain the star map. And it's regarded as some sort of weird space magic. It's not really explained. He doesn't know exactly how the ritual worked, but he ended up going through with it. Instead of, there were two options. He could either perform the blood sacrifice, and it's not like killing yourself, it's like just dropping a couple drops of blood. He could either perform it on himself out of desperation in order to gain the knowledge, or he could perform a blood sacrifice on an unwilling participant. So SG-53 picked the morally gray option of doing a blood sacrifice on one of the Trandoshans that was chasing Jericho, because they're obviously bad guys. Not that that makes it right, but that's what they did. And they acquired the... What's that?
That's not dubious or anything.
Right. Well, I'm not here to judge your moral decisions in-game. I'm just the DM. I just roll with it. So that's what happened. You guys acquired the star map. Sorry, not star chart. There's a difference. You got the star map to Oleanus. And this is where we pick up. So the Freya, in case you didn't know, you were on the Freya, which is a Vilskirnir class warship from the Asgard that has been kind of upgraded. This is a Mark II. It's got some hangar bays and some F-302s. This is an Earth ship, but it's using the plans of the Asgard. It's on a journey to Oleanus, and Colonel Cole is the commander, the colonel on board the ship. They usually use colonels for commanders on the ships in Stargate. So that's what I'm going to refer to. So if I say commander, or if I say he's commanding it, I'm not saying he's a commander. I'm saying he's a colonel. Because there's no really, like, it'd be weird if I was saying he was colonelling the ship. Like, I just don't think that's a word.
He's turning it into corn.
Yeah. So he's commanding the ship with SG-53 and Sean Jericho with you as well. So Jericho picks up, and he says, he starts with speaking to Colonel Cole out in the bridge, and he's saying, "We have the star map to Oleanus, but unfortunately, since your ship is not from this galaxy and you don't have a star chart of the stellar bodies over here, you don't have a point of reference to use this map. So this is practically useless information right now. If I had the Ghostly Maw, I could plug it into my star chart and I could get you directions. However, this option could work. It's a little bit out of the way, but since I lost all my gear to the Trandoshans, I think maybe we ought to go to a planet that I know of that's in the mid-rim of this galaxy. Have you ever heard of a planet called Mantell?
Can't say I have.
Well, there is a Trade Federation outpost there in the city of Sabroya. So I think they could hook us up with some gear for me. And frankly, if we're going to be taking on these weapons, and so I think we ought to try to find an arms dealer over there. Because, no offense, but the weapons you're carrying, I don't think they're going to be effective.
What are we paying again?
Repeat that, please.
What are we fighting again?
You're fighting witches.
Oh, yeah, okay. My gun isn't gonna
No, that's okay.
kill a witch, is it?
I might have to ask you to repeat some things sometimes because the signal is not super strong here. So I want to make sure I hear you clearly.
Okay.
So basically he's saying you should go to the planet named Mantell because there is a city on Mantell called Sabroya, and there's a Trade Federation outpost there. And so if you go to that outpost, he believes that they could hook us up with a connection to an arms dealer so that you can get some better weapons on these witches, and so you don't die, you know? It sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
And Cole is willing and able to turn the ship around, or not turn it around, but so to speak, but kind of backtrack a little bit because Jericho knows where he is roughly, and so he can get you there. And then once you get there, maybe you might be able to find some data to help you with like an established star chart or something. Also help. It'd be like going to like hooking your GPS up to Wi-Fi or data so that you can download the fresh map, for an area you haven't explored before.
Let's yoink this map from the cloud.
Feels like a really old 2000s reference for GPSs now. They don't work that way anymore. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this is his suggestion, but you guys are in charge. Try to continue onward blindly. But you'll be blind.
I mean, I've been blind this whole time. I still don't know what happened in the previous sessions.
Well,
we're just you explained it, but also I'm just kind of like flying by the seat of my pants here.
That's okay.
So
we'll chalk it up to you being on the ship, but you just weren't participating at the time.
I was asleep, just like Hitler sleeping through the invasion of Normandy.
Well, you're an engineer. Perhaps you were working on the hyperdrive or something.
Sure, let's go with that highly plausible excuse.
We'll say that Walt is taking your place right now, and you're switching places. So he's working on the hyperdrive right now.
Okay.
It would be relatively taxing to jump that far across the universe with the hyperdrive without many stops. It makes sense to work on it. Do some more routine maintenance.
Yes, woo! I cased the joint, now he's fixing the joint.
Okay. I'm just going to assume you like that idea because I'm not hearing any objections.
I guess we're going that way. We're going to Sabroya, or however you say it.
What about Colonel Steiner? Because he is the Colonel.
Colonel.
I didn't know this was a democracy.
Yeah, it's not, but I mean, you are in charge along with Cole. You two kind of make the decision.
Sure, we can get better boomsticks.
Yeah?
All right. Guns!
All right.
Let's go!
All right, so he says, make your bearing 050, Colonel Cole. Colonel Cole's like, all right. Left full sublight engines. Furnace 050, Sergeant. Aye, Colonel. He turns the ship. All right. Shall we jump to hyperspace, or is this close enough we can do it with sublight? They talk about it, and in about an hour,
Just yeet us over there.
They have arrived. The details not so super important. You are now sitting outside of the planet of Ord Mantell, and I'm going to give you an image so you know what the planet looks like. I'm going to put that in the D&D voice call chat. This is the planet of Ord Mantell.
Thought you were going to say the Planet of the Apes. That's pretty.
Yeah, no, it's here. Okay, sorry, I got distracted because Grace texted me.
Grace!
Is anyone interested in this planet? You want to ask questions? Because you've got an expert here.
I mean, this is just a planet. We're just here for guns, but, do we know where we are?
Yeah, you've never heard of this? The Bright Jewel.
Assume I know nothing.
Well, you clearly have a lot to learn about over here, but that's okay. Let me just put it this way. This planet's a big deal, all right? So...
Okay.
What makes it a big deal?
I am amazed you've never heard of it. Ord Mantell City is the capital. It's
the capital of what?
Capital of Ord Mantell.
What is this place?
What does this place produce? Why is it so important? Why is it so famous?
It's the capital planet of this system, the Bright Jewel system. Let's just say that a lot of things happen here. And so, if you hadn't heard of Ord Mantell, I'm kind of surprised. You must be really new to this portion of the universe.
You know what this reminds me of? New
No.
York City.
New York City, huh?
New York
Well,
City. This is space New York. We're going to space New York.
so he says to Cole, why don't you got some sort of image generation, I don't know. You can zoom in down there, right? Cole's like, yeah, we can do that. Just, I want you to zoom in down on this part. Get a good look. This is, you can see from orbit, Mantell City. It's a rather big city. It's got a big spire in the middle. A lot of businesses. There's a spaceport. There's a spaceport. He's saying, generally, I would recommend that we would, land down at the spaceport, and then we would go to Sevroya, which is a much smaller city. Close enough we can make it there by speeder without much trouble. But since you have your beaming technology, which might I say, you might want to keep that secret. There are a lot of people that would kill for that over here. You might be able to just beam down to Sevroya. So it gives you the GPS location coordinates of Sevroya. And he says, this is where you want to beam, Cole. And maybe you might want to beam outside of the city so you're not seen. I would also recommend being careful. There's the possibility there could be other pirates around here that might try to attack your ship. So just keep an eye out while we're down there. All right.
Okay.
Cole agrees. This is the point where you would pick out you want to go down there, unless you want to just carry what you had on you already, which is your standard loadout. And then
Standard loadout's good for me. I don't think I need anything special. This is a city.
okay. So let me double check and make sure that you all remember what the standard loadout is. So as far as I'm concerned, you still have the standard issue Pegasus bundle because it works well in other galaxies as well. You got the weatherproof bag, the BDUs, boots, baseball caps, compass, canteen, flashlight, GDO, a day of MREs, your tactical vest and radio. You've got your FNP90 or whatever other weapon you had on you. Binocs, video camera, and you've got one portable Nequadria generator, 100 feet of rope, and life science detector. So I will assume, I think it'd be safe to assume you probably leave the generator here. Everything else you could carry with you easily down there in your packs.
Yeah, no need for the generator.
We don't need a generator.
Yeah.
Unless we're hoping to make an atomic bomb accidentally.
So let me post this again. Oh. Okay, apparently I cannot copy that snipping tool. I'm going to take a screen. I just want to provide you an image so that you remember what you have on you. Because if you're going to do stuff, you're going to have to work with what you have. Okay. That's
Thank
what you
you.
have. Mm-hmm.
Official SGC document.
All right. Jericho says, I see a good spot just outside the city. There's a rock formation over there. I recommend we beam down there, and that way we less chance of being seen.
Oh wait, can we breathe this atmosphere?
Yes. It's sustainable atmosphere for humans and many other races.
Okay.
In fact, there are a lot of humans on this planet already. So.
Alright, let's be fine then.
Yeah.
My fellow Towerese.
So they are not the dominant race. So that's something we keep in mind.
Right. Well,
There actually isn't a dominant race that he's aware of. For the most part, it seems to be a pretty even spread of multiple different races. It doesn't seem like there was a race that originally came from this planet. So, all right. Well, you beam down, and you are now in that rock formation, about 2 clicks south of Sabroya. So you can see it easily, but it's a bit of a walk over there. So I leave this in your hands. You tell me what you want to do.
Well, Colonel, what do you think?
Think tactically, survivally. Check your surroundings. You just beamed into an alien location, and you're just standing there like, okay, what is supposed to happen? Like, think about it. Is there...
Oh, I thought we hadn't been done yet.
Open up your... do a perception roll or something to check and make sure there isn't
Okay.
a next to up on the rock about to jump down on you and bite your head off, you know?
Well, I just got a 6 on perception, so...
Oh, let's see. What is my perception? I don't have dice.
I'll just tell you what the DC is. If you do a survival or perception check, it's going to be a DC of 10. So if
Can
you
I do
anything
survival?
10 or above, you'll pass. Yeah.
Okay, I have +1 to that. So... Oh, +2, actually. Total 19.
I'm not going to remind you on any other checks that are
Total
like
19.
that after this.
Oh.
I just wanted to give you an example because you can't just assume that this is a safe place.
Naturally.
Just getting
You got
back
a
in the groove,
19?
I think.
Cool. You look around and you don't see much of anything. There might be like a womp rat off in the distance. About it. Some interesting vegetation that is alien to you, but it's not all that weird looking. It's the same kind of vegetation that maybe you would imagine imagine to find on a planet. It's like weird morphs of grass and trees and stuff. That looks not too different from Earth.
So this is like kind of grassland, woodland.
It's kind of like grassy, forested. There's obviously some rocks and bluffs. So it's terrestrial, basically. It's your general terrestrial temperate planet.
Okay. Looks safe enough to me, but we should probably get going to that other town pretty soon.
The Royal?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, how are you going to get there?
Well, Jericho said it's easy on speeders, but we don't have speeders.
That's right.
I guess we're going on foot?
That would have been the case if you had stopped not space dock. Hyperspace, no,
Spaceport?
not hyperspace. Spaceport, thank you.
Yeah. We would have been
That's
able
what
to
it is.
get speeders, but no. I mean,
Well,
I have a good feeling about this place.
Average walking pace, it might take you at most an hour to get there, you know. So
Yeah.
we'll say by the time you get to the city, the gate to the city, because there are walls around it, it is high noon. And you don't know how many hours there are on this planet, but it's high noon. The system's star is directly above you.
Okay.
You're standing outside the gate, and you don't see a trace of anybody.
Do I see more than a trace of anyone?
Nope.
Hmm.
You don't see anyone. You can hear a distant buzz of activity inside of the city, like a low hum.
All
in the
right,
background.
time to go into Nineveh then.
And then an air speeder flies over and off towards what presumably would be another city.
All right. Well, can we just like go in the front door?
Why don't you try?
Well, I want to try.
I'm trying to not instruct you on what to do here, Megan.
I'm just asking if it's possible for us to go in the front door.
Well, how would you find that out?
find the front door and try to go through it?
Yeah, just Megan, just describe it like if you were really there. Just to tell me what you're doing. That way.
Okay. Hold on. Let's go in the
You're
door.
like, I walk up to the door and knock on it, or something like that. You know.
I don't know what kind of door there is. Is there a big gate? Is there a service door? Whatever.
Well, there's no perception check necessary for that. It's a big gate. It's a 2-door gate. It's rather tall. It's big enough that some sort of machinery could get in, and it's pretty wide. Heavy-duty gate.
Is there like a bell or anything to ring, or do we just have to try to open the thing?
No bell. There's a little round circle that seems to be like... So basically, the gates seem to be made out of something that looks like stone, kind of. And off on the side, on the wall, which is also made of stone, there's a circle. And it looks like there's kind of like a little round door that covers up that circle, if that makes sense. It's a circle hole, and there's a little round door over it.
Okay,
I of a dinner plate.
I want to open the door, the little door. What's behind it?
Okay, you try to open the door. It doesn't open because it seems to be locked.
The little round one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I open the big door?
No, it's too big to move with human strength. Jericho says, you haven't seen one of these before, have you? He goes up and he says something to the little round door, and it opens up on its own, and a long rod with a circular-looking robotic eyeball pokes out, and it looks at you. And it speaks something in an alien language, looks at all of you, retreats back into the hole, and the gate's open.
Huh. Okay. Guess we're going in.
Yeah? You're going in?
You remember the thing from the door on Jabba's palace?
Yeah, I know it's that.
It's that.
Lego Star Wars.
That game was awesome.
I would try saying the Huttese, but I obviously am not fluent, so... It'd probably be like, or something like that. Like,
Random
Something that
Huttese
sounds
Jewish.
vaguely Mongolian.
yeah.
You can just make some tongue noises, it'll be fine.
Okay.
That's the bug guy from Geno's.
Hey, you're the ones who made my gun. Hey, let's go in. I want to see this place. I want to get guns
Cool.
and stuff.
The gates continue slowly opening, and they make a little bit of a sound as they open up all the way. And you see a bustling, smaller city in front of you. There are some taller buildings, but it's not by any means the size of it. It's not like a Seattle or an LA. It's more like a I don't know how to explain it. It's like a suburb of New York.
Okay, so reasonably large.
Yeah, it's reasonably large. You can expect to find stuff there, but it's not going to be as packed as one of those major capitals. Because you didn't go to the capital. I don't know if I mentioned it, but Ord Mantell City is the capital of Ord Mantell. Makes sense. Okay. So you see the city open up in front of you, and Jericho says, all right, follow me. I'll take you to the Trade Federation outpost. Shouldn't be too far.
Take us to their leader.
Little John, he walks you down the city walkway. I'm going to give you some pictures here so you can know what it looks like. All right. So as you walk down the city, you see stuff that looks in general like this.
Birdie.
Not super huge buildings, kind of short and stocky. See a couple land speeders go by you. They're kind of going slowly.
Follow the speed limit.
You walk down the main drag, and then he says, "Oh, we got to turn left on this street." And as you do, this another land speeder goes zooming by. It's actually a speeder bike, and it's going quite fast. And behind it, off in the distance, you hear it gets louder and louder, and you see blue and red flashing lights. And they take the corner a little too fast, trying to follow the guy, and they kind of smack into a retaining wall, leaving some blue paint behind, and then continue off in distance. A couple people had to jump out of the way of the speeding police bike and nearly got killed. They get up and they shake it off and continue about their business as the speeder bikes continue off into the distance.
Unfazed, my gosh.
This place is basically the Chicago of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Go
Murder City? Gotcha.
Another 5 minutes or so, and you hear a couple blaster shots, and one of them actually goes across the street perpendicular to you, just about 100 feet in front of you, and you see it impact another wall, and some dust and some rocks kind of fly off, and you see two creatures jump out, and you wouldn't know what these are, but I'll just tell you anyway. A Quarren and an Arcona jump out from that alleyway where the fire came, and they run off and they run past you.
I thought you were going to say Quarian.
No, Quarren and Arcona.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
well,
I should mention, you've seen a few Quarren and Arcona, so I will now show you what they look like. If you don't know.
I don't, so.
So there's a pretty reasonable mix of races on the street. That's a Quarren.
It looks like one of the kids from a Splatoon.
Oh, that's hilarious. Arcona is also the name of a skincare product. But the Star Wars Arcona came up first.
Your skin in a CeraVe ad. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And so you've seen a few of these. You've also seen one of these as you've been walking down the street. Sean tells you that this is a Bith. And then you've seen some humans as well. You've seen a fair mix of these.
Can you show us an example of what a human looks like?
You want an example of what a human looks like? Good job.
No, I really need an example.
Do you have a mirror?
No.
So you've seen definitely more than a few of these. Various skin tints, heights, weights, builds.
Maybe one or two
And then
rows.
a lot of humans intermixed. Are you going to keep walking past that where that gunfire happened, or
Yeah?
yes, no, yeah? Okay.
Why not?
Big city, it happens on a daily basis.
It's just a murder. Move on.
Like I
Not
said,
your business.
Chicago.
Mind your duplex.
Okay. You walk down past that alley, and as you're about to pass it, you somebody bumps into Lonnie's shoulder and kind of like makes her stagger. Do a dexterity saving throw, please.
Hey, just hold on. I have to grab my dice. 2.
And I'm just going to roll for my check. Okay, so you have to beat a 10.
And I got a 2.
You fail. You fell over, and you like get dust in your mouth, and you're like spluttering and coughing.
Hey, dude.
And you look up and you see 3 rough-looking creatures, one of which you don't recognize. You saw another Quarren, another Arcona, but this one you don't know. I'm going to give you a picture of it. You don't know what this one's called, and you've never seen one before.
The one that bumped into me. I'm like dusting myself up, getting up.
This is the one that bumped into you here. He looks like this guy, and he is big. He's like a good 6'5", probably.
Oh.
He's got massive muscles. He's got some horns coming out of his head. His skin is an orangish red tinge. He's got a kind of an evil expression on his face, and he kind of spits in your general direction, Lonnie, as you're on the ground. He's like,
I get myself up and like gape at him in an outrage. What was that for?
okay, I'm gonna have you do. I'll give you the option to do an intimidation check if you want. Otherwise, I want you to just do a general speech, which I can't remember what that's called in
Check. Charisma?
5th edition. Let me pull up a character sheet here so I can remember.
Persuasion?
Yeah, either persuasion or persuasion or intimidation.
Either of them is -1, so I don't care.
I mean, I could do an intimidation because I get +4 for it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who does it. I guess it sort of matters. You can. I'm just saying, do what you want.
Well, I'm mad at him, so I'll try for intimidation, I guess.
And he says, "Puny human."
Oh, and I got a 6, but -1, so it's actually a 5.
You got it. You got a 5.
Total 5.
Wow. He failed. Oh, he failed. Okay, what do you say?
Like, listen here, you son of a gun. Why do you push me, huh? You should walk away. Walk away, leave me behind. Like, what's your problem, bro? You think you're some hotshot hot rod? You got your gun. You can friends are in this big city. You're you're just a podunk from a town in the sticks, I bet. What do you think you have better than me, running around bumping into people on the street? You jerk! Your mother would be ashamed of you.
He is visibly taken aback, and you notice that this guy is a little bit more brawn than brains. And he's like, he doesn't know how to respond to this, and he kind of backs up a little bit out, like a step or two, just merely out of confusion.
Walk away, or apologize and then walk away. But either way, get out of my face.
Okay, yeah. He now backs up a couple more paces, and now you see the Arcona and the Quarren, instead of backing up, advancing on you, and they've got their hands hovering above their holsters.
The nerve of these people. Imagine just getting hit on the street. Let's go. I'm tired of this.
So I want to pop the holster flap on my Luger and step in front of Lonnie. Do I need to roll intimidation too, or no?
Sure.
Because I want to confront. I want to confront the Packleton bags.
You want to confront the witch?
Yes, and then +4.
Wow. There's not, unless I get a 20, there's almost no point in rolling.
Oh.
I got an 18, so you pass. So who are you directing this at?
Bugface.
The Arcona? The guy with the big eyeballs?
Triangle face.
Triangle face?
Dorita
or
head.
squid face? Dorito head.
Dorita head.
There are two that could be Dorito
Wait,
head.
you look like a warlock.
Oh.
Or not
The one
warlock,
with
sorry,
the
the
tentacles
warlord.
or the one without tentacles?
No
The one without
tentacles, I
tentacles.
think.
Yeah. No
Okay,
tentacles.
So no tentacles. That's the Arcona.
Yes.
Okay. So, what did you say to him again? I'm sorry. I missed it.
I haven't said anything yet. I just kind of I walked up and popped the holster flap on my pistol and have my hand hovering over it.
He looks down at it and he says to you, you're going to come at me with that puny thing? and his fingers start to grasp the handle of his blaster on his side, and you see the blaster come up like a half inch or so.
Hey.
Crowd. Somebody pushes through it to try and sort of get in the middle of the situation. Theoden, would you like to describe my character? Or should I?
Why don't you do it? I think you do a better job.
Alright, so I have a picture. Theoden has the picture. I can't copy-paste it because my computer is being weird.
I also can, but I will get you a different one to give you a general idea.
Yeah, so your characters see this like blue sort of hairy, almost feline-looking humanoid like push through the crowd, sort of interject himself between you and the goon squad over there. Like both hands raised, like push you aside.
You're one of the cat people. You're one of the cat people. Yeah.
Oh, you're an avatar lady. Okay.
So out of character, yes, you would recognize this as a Zygarian, but like obviously you've never seen one in character before.
Okay. So some weird alien just comes striding into what looks like a street brawl.
Yeah. My friends, please. We do not have to let it come to blows, do we? I'm sure there's a peaceful way to negotiate this situation.
Let it come to blows? I just want this guy to back off and get out of my face.
What is up with this discussion? This man's eyes are half the size of his face. Why do you want him to leave?
The big, bulky guy with the red skin and the horns is called a Devaronian, by the way. The Devaronian is now even more confused looking, and it would be reasonable to assume that he maybe is just a little scared now, because maybe his bark's a little bit more than his bite. He's a little bit of a coward. So
do I pick up on this with my passive perception?
Let's see if you do. I probably should have rolled
plus 20 passive perception. I think I do.
Yes, you do. You pick up on this absolutely.
I round on him. It's like I get right up in his face, and I'm like, "Yes, you know what I am and what my people do to scum like you. Back off."
Oh, Meg, can you tell Dad that I'm busy? He's trying to call me.
Dad's not home.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to text him and tell him you're busy. I look at the Zygarian, whose name I don't know, whose race I don't know. In my brain, I'm thinking, "Ooh, cat person," and like, there's no problem here. I just want him to leave me alone. It's fine.
Then we are in agreement. Yes.
Yeah.
Come,
yeah, we are.
I will give you some credits. You can go buy yourselves a drink and skedaddle. Count yourselves
No
one.
need for that. No need for that. We'll just be on our way.
And who might you be?
Name is Koronov. And yours?
Friedrich Steiner.
Pleasure
Johnny
to meet you.
Conway.
Jericho says to him, "Pleased to make your acquaintance, Koronov."
So, what brings you to Old Mantell?
Well, we're searching for, not searching. We're looking for an arms dealer, and I
You
think.
see Koronov's face light up.
Oh.
Seems
Well,
to have
Something
found
tells me you might have an answer for us. We were going to go to the Trade Federation outpost.
Oh, those. No. You deserve quality, my friends. Come, I will take you to my ship. We have Yes, I believe I can arrange something. I am something of an arms dealer myself.
Oh,
Okay,
well, this is
okay.
fantastic. Not only do we get a drink on the house, but we make contact with the very person we're looking for.
All right.
I'm all for
I don't
it.
think I actually gave them the credits yet, though.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, Lonnie did turn it down.
I'm just kind of like, no alcohol, please. I don't want to get poisoned. And it wouldn't be because you poisoned me. It would be because
Well-
I didn't know that humans aren't supposed to drink something.
I don't think that's generally a problem out here. So it might be kind of like Mexico where you can't drink the water, but you can have the bottled water. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'll leave Mexico aside.
All right. Well, lead the way to your show.
This way. So, he leads you through the streets, sort of, almost like taking a left turn from where you guys were going, and heads towards a more like bustling area with regards to the sky. Like you can see ships flying around and stuff, and it's pretty clear that this is a spaceport of some kind.
Oh, yeah. The Sabronian spaceport. We would have come here if we had a transport.
This spaceport is made out of spaceport.
Yeah. Anyway, so you have a picture of my ship too, right, Dan?
Remind me what it's called again, because I can't remember the model number.
HWK 290.
Thank you. I'll send a picture of this.
Yeah. So you round a corner and like at this corner is a doorway that leads up into hangar bay, and nestled in that hangar bay is a ship that looks like the thing Dan just posted.
Okay.
That is my ship. I believe we can work out something. Yes?
Yeah.
Yep, quite possibly. Are you? When you say you're an arms dealer, do you mean that you like sell the guns?
Yes. That is exactly what I mean. Why? Does it mean something else where you come from?
No, it means the same thing, but never hurts to check.
Fair enough.
Well, Jericho just walks up to the ship and starts just looking at it, and he really likes your ship. He's just kind of eyeballing it, running his hand over it. Like, this is a good ship.
Thank you. I put a lot of money and effort into it. I call it the Liberator. Because there are few things more liberating than a good blaster by your side, yes?
That's right.
This is true.
What do you mean it looks like a daredevil?
I seem to have had mine taken from me. I am in the market. Oh wait, sorry, he doesn't have an accent. He's in the accent, and I started picking it up by accent. Yeah, I'm in the market for a blaster and a little something. I will pack a little bit more of a punch.
I might have some things.
All right, where is this stock? Where do we step inside in the back
As
hangar?
it happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, open her up. And you see the hatch for the cargo bay on the ship sort of open up, and like you can kind of see inside, and like it's mostly empty at the moment, but there's still a fair amount of boxes and a couple of weapon crates, and like you can kind of tell they're weapon crates just like by configuration and stuff, and Yeah. You get the impression that, like, it's not very well supplied, but it's pretty supplied.
So Jericho walks over and he starts like, he gestures as if it's like, may I open the crate? I can look inside.
By all means, feel free to browse.
Okay, so he opens the crate, and inside the crate, he sees multiple weapons that are unique. He has not seen before, and certainly none of you have seen before. And the only person who in this party who would know of them is Koronov. So you see a strange metal, almost like a boxing glove type of weapon. You very clearly stick your arm inside of it. There is a very, very large antenna-shaped weapon. There's a lance that looks a little bit higher tech than your average lance. An electro staff, which you should know out of game, but in character, you would just see basically a staff with two little.
I'm just now realizing you gave me a Fallout weapon.
I gave you two Fallout weapons. And then there's a javelin launcher in a second crate, and this one's significantly bigger than the others. It is not a weapon you carry; it is a turreted weapon, and it is. You see the ammunition right next to it. It's incendiary fragment javelins. So it's almost like a ballista that shoots explosive javelins.
That's cool.
Upon further inquiry, he may tell you the names. Are you going to tell him the names of them?
I want to look at the glove thing.
These are somewhat unusual. I picked them up from some local worlds. A bit more crude than some of the more marketed options, but specialized, you know? They call this one a Saturnite Fist. Very good at punching through things, as you can tell. I gestured to the one that, like, looks like you can put your hand in it. And this one is an electro staff. Pretty good for stunning anything getting too close to your liking. Especially big things. External antenna, thermic lens, and of course the javelin launcher. A bit of a ballista, that one. Very good for blowing things up.
Oh, explosions.
Yes.
His eyes
Now
wide.
wouldn't Calero like that one?
If you'll open up one of the others, you can see a bit more standard wear. We've got some blast tech, some factoid products. Bit more of the generic blaster configurations. Should also have some slug throwers, should that be more to your liking.
This snippet I just sent you is just of those unique weapons. Anything else, I would just refer to our previous weapon sheet. Unless
it's the basic stuff. I can give you some of the more regular stuff, but also there's some cool stuff.
These five are the unique ones, and you may not run into them anywhere else.
Yes, but obviously this is more of the cream of the crop, so to speak.
The thermic lance is really interesting.
Yes, it does tend to be a popular seller.
That one, when you pierce someone with it, it becomes red hot and burns the victim.
Wow.
So if you want a
Nothing like
description for these, I came up with them myself today, so I can explain them to you if you want.
nothing like frying your opponents instead of just peacefully stabbing them to death.
Mhm.
11 time in the oven.
Yes. Yes, these are more local designs, so supply is relatively limited. However, they will do quite adequately for whatever job you wish to put them up to.
Hmm.
What about this javelin launcher?
Oh, that one will put the hole in pretty much everything short of reinforced blast doors.
That one you could easily compare it to a cross of a Roman ballista with HESH rounds, high explosive swash head. Excuse me, not HESH, heat ammunition from tanks, high explosive anti-tank. So basically, when it hits the target, if it's armored, it will penetrate into that using heat, and then it will explode.
This could be very useful, actually.
Well, that is why I am in the business, you know? I try to sell useful things.
Hmm.
Prices, Koronov would have to negotiate with you on prices, or you could work out some other kind of a deal if you wish. I can give you a ballpark area for the base price of each of these items, though. And let's not forget, you guys actually do have money. You just never touch it, which is fine. But I have a sheet of all the money that you guys have, and I will post the link right now to the Google Doc. So this is
I
the
was
money
just
you
about to
have.
ask, how much money do we actually have?
This is the money you
Oh my
have.
gosh, you made us a statement.
So, you mentioned
I am.
something earlier while we were on the way here. You don't have a ship?
Oh, we have a ship. Jericho doesn't have a ship.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah. Our ship's pretty nice. Nothing special.
That's very wrong.
Oh.
Well, what will it be?
Well, these are pretty interesting weapons. I mean, they're not bad. But
They're each base price at about 1,800 credits a piece.
yeah.
So I'll just,
No, they
for
look
simplicity's sake today, I'll just say they're all the same base price.
okay.
If you notice, take the Saturnite Fist for instance. It is 44 slashing, but it has a weight of 5 pounds, which is the lightest of all of them. It has the highest capacity, so you can use it 20 times before it's out of power, and it gets 1 charge back per hour. Versus the X2 antenna, for instance, which does 3d12 slashing. However, that one only can be used 5 times in and out before it's out of power. The
And it's really heavy.
Oh yes, it's also really heavy. The thermic lance does 3d10 piercing. It weighs 10 and it has a capacity of 10. So that's probably like the medium option. The electro staff is different than all of them. It does you you roll 10d4 shock. It weighs 14 pounds and it has 10 capacity. And then your javelin launcher, it has capacity of 10. It weighs 80 pounds. You're not going to be carrying this thing around. You're going to set it down, and it does 5d8 explosive. So each of them have a different use. All right, so they each have their pros and cons. I'm going to say they all cost 1,800 credits a piece. So I would
I'm curious about this electro staff.
I'd recommend considering all of the attributes before making your decisions. And you can buy multiple weapons too. You got enough credits to buy multiple.
Oh, sure.
Yes, the electro staff is quite a popular seller. It is one of the better close-in options if you want to make sure something gets knocked out and stays down.
I'm sure it is.
Regrettably, it is somewhat close in relation to the shockwaves my people use.
I understand. Well, have no fear, friend. I won't discriminate based on your species or anything like that.
Hmm. That is good to
But
hear.
I'm curious. How
Yes?
much are you really looking for these weapons? How much do you really expect to make off them? I'm sure you get a lot of people bargaining for them.
Not as many as you would think. A lot of bias towards more conventional weaponry.
Oh,
But these
certainly.
are relatively low-tech options, you know.
Certainly, but they do have their pros and cons, do they not?
Yes, that
Well,
is definitely true.
everyone knows how to deal with a blaster in a fight. Not everybody knows how to deal with an antenna or
Yes,
or a power glove.
yes. I believe bounty hunters typically are the most reliable clientele for such things. But obviously, not everyone
Well,
can
they do.
afford it.
Oh, of course. And they sure do like to be against the grain, as it were.
Yes.
But, you know, we're people of the same mind to a degree. We like useful things. Don't really care much about whether other people think well of them or not.
Is that so?
Well, I mean, I'm a representative of my people, but I'm not like all of them. I'm sure you're not either.
Thank goodness for that.
I think I'd like
Okay,
to buy this
so-
electro staff from you. Whoop.
Very well. I will give it to you for 1800 starting price. We'll go from there.
Yeah, I was expecting you to charge a little bit closer to 1600.
Well, I suppose I can make a arrangement for a first-time buyer.
You think so? I would very much appreciate it.
1750.
17.
You two can do bargaining checks against each other if you want.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Bargaining check.
Yeah, so I guess
How does
whatever
that work?
it would have
Yeah,
to
how does that
be, probably be like
I'm guessing persuasion.
and then whoever is doing the DC would do a charisma saving throw. Probably, it's up to you. I'm not gonna force it. I'm just suggesting.
My charisma stat is a 9.
It's a 24.
Oh, no.
I don't think you should be doing
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, am I level 4?
You are level 4. Everyone's level 4.
Does that mean I need to raise any of my stats? Or can raise any of my stats?
We already did.
Oh.
It's okay.
Well,
I'm gonna award you all some XP at the end of this round because I think you guys have done quite a bit since you last leveled up.
Okay. Well, yeah. Can I roll to persuade? I'm sorry, I forgot your character's name.
Voronov.
Koronov. Total 13.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my friend, but I do have a business to run. Got to make a profit somehow, you know?
I understand. 1750 then?
We have a deal. Enjoy your
Alright.
new weapon.
I will
Thank you,
deduct
sir.
that from your account, so we're down minus 1750.
And that's the electro staff for me.
All right, go ahead and put that in your character sheet, or I will do it for you. Actually, I'll just do it for you.
I would
I mean,
like to
I got it.
Okay.
Where Corona? Is this
For the
Chevron
electrostaff, you can use your strength bonus.
I'm sorry,
That's zero.
Hank was trying to talk to me.
I was just, is the javelin launcher line of sight?
Well, I do believe it has a bit of an arc to it, but as long as you're not firing from several hundred meters away, it should go in a straight line.
Where we are going, there will be, we assume there will be rocks and stuff. So if somebody is, say, hiding behind one of those rocks, I would like to be able to cease his existence.
I would say just shoot through the rock. It is explosive.
This is
It is more of a stationary weapon, so you will have to be careful with which place you position it in.
It probably has a tripod, and I think we should just establish from here on it does have a tripod. It's only stationary weapon. Make sense?
yes.
It's a
Makes
turret.
sense.
Does it have to be manned, or and that wasn't even German? I don't know. Does it have to be manned, or does it work on its own?
The Theoden came up with the gun. I'm going to let him
Oh, yeah.
answer that one.
I mean, it's not automatic, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't make it automatic with some upgrades.
Well, if you had a droid, maybe, but as is, not really.
This is a thing. This is fine. What is your going price for this weapon?
1800.
1,800. This is
Personally, I do think it is a little low, but it is stationary weapon, and yeah, not many people go for that thing. So
perhaps you would like to have it out of your hands.
perhaps.
Wait, what are we rolling for? Oh, never mind. That's just
Yeah, I'm gonna let you make me a persuasion check and see if I can stand up to it.
Oh no, it's just your check from earlier is just now loading in, and so it's like, wait a minute, load on.
Lag.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a D20 plus 5 in response to Lucy's attempt to get me to lower the price a bit more. It's like, yeah, I'll give you a beginner's discount, but not by much.
Yes.
I will offer you the same deal as your friend. Yes, 1750.
This is fine. I am fine with this. What do you think, Lonnie?
I mean, sounds alright to me. We paid more for turrets.
Well, let's not tell him that.
Imagine I whispered in your ear or something.
Well, most turrets are generally more expensive than these ones, so it is a good budget option, yes?
Where else are we going to find something like this?
Not many places, I'm afraid. Like I said, these are all local designs. And by local, I mean specific to the planet with which they came from.
I'm fine with it. Let's go. Explosives and alcohol. Where can we possibly go wrong?
All right, I'm tabulating all this for you.
It seems we have a deal, my friend.
We do have a deal. Very well.
All right.
Nice.
Side note, for Koronov, I have put an extra area in this financial statement as your business credit account, and so I'm transferring money from their group credit account into your business credit account.
Will this be going on my character sheet or anything?
We can do that if you like.
I mean, if it's like an account thing, then yeah, maybe having it off in my character sheet would probably be a better idea.
Okay. once we're done with this session, I'll move it over there.
We're on the ship. I'll just transfer it into that, and that will go into my account.
Sounds good. Okay. Are there
Anybody
any more
else?
purchases happening?
I can't think of anything else. Do we want to get something for Calero? Or for Walt?
You probably should. I mean, frankly, you got enough money, you could buy multiple weapons, and you may not run into them again.
What do you think? Would Walt be interested in incorporating an antenna? It's pretty heavy, but he could handle it, right?
Well,
It's easily as tall
I
as
do
him.
not
It's
believe
like
it is that kind of antenna, my friend.
Good suggestion, though. I appreciate the thought.
I think the Saturnite fist would be better for Walt than the antenna.
Maybe. It's not like he could use a throwing weapon.
No.
He doesn't really have much of a punching ability now, does he? I mean, he can roll. I feel like it definitely complements his battle preference, fighting style. He likes to roll into things. He doesn't shoot as much as he just kind of bludgeons people.
I charge.
Your friend,
speaking of which,
Walt, you say, what are his specific needs? Perhaps we can work something out with a recommendation.
Let's say he needs to incorporate any weapon he uses into his mobility equipment.
Also,
He's got a couple unique needs.
I find that answer vague and unhelpful with regards to finding the proper weapon for these men.
If you would very kindly excuse my private here. He from the planet Earth, and so their thinking is not always on point. As for carriers, however, are much more specific.
Earth? Valkyria. I have not heard of these planets.
They're far away.
I have never met a cat person myself, so this is a first for me as well.
Cat person?
Yeah, you know.
This is the first time I've heard Zagarians described in such a way.
what is a cat?
No. It's like a love cat, you know?
I can see that, the cat people would have little tiny humans that run around and they keep them as pets.
They eat the,
I mean, that's more accurate than you really want to go into right now.
That's funny.
Hank, did you purposely do that?
Yes.
God. Wow.
That was cold. Okay.
Well, okay.
I really like the chemistry your characters have. It's great.
We're trying.
Yeah. So, your friend?
Okay, well.
Walt, do you think he would like a flamethrower? I think he would like a flamethrower. A flamethrower. I would like a flamethrower. The flamethrower are the best flamethrower.
Let me see if I can pull up the regular weapons and gears slot.
I might have a stat block for that. I'm not sure. I kind of doubt it.
Heavy guns, flamethrower, 1d10. It is in there.
Yep, 1d10 for a flamethrower. It's rather weak, frankly.
Yeah.
It's not like he'd use it just because.
I would be, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I haven't reinforced it yet, so it'd be a good time to. All of these weapons, I think, if you were to give me a reasonable check, an amount of time, money, and time, or I think I already said time, in engineering, you could upgrade weapons you already have to be more powerful or effective. So just throw that out there, because if you're like, oh, I want the Flammenwerfer, but I want it to be more powerful, you could probably upgrade it somehow.
This Flammenwerfer can birth so much Flammen, it's amazing.
Yes, we have some flamethrowers. Here, let me
Yeah,
get
I
them.
probably like one of those.
Like, you see me go over to the pile of boxes and, like, move a couple off the top and open one up. No, that is not it. Move another one.
The base price for that one, according to Edge of the Empire rules, which is what I use, is 1,000 credits. But that's for a more powerful version, so I think we would cut that price in half to 500 for base price.
Yeah. So what you see me pull these out of a box, and it's like, yes, they will do nicely. Yeah.
Oh,
This would very
yeah.
easily be fitted into one of his arms.
Yeah, that would really fit. It's compact enough.
Mhm.
The fuel source looks really small.
Do not let that fool you. Compressed
Yeah.
gases
Compressed gas are
have
exactly
come
what
a
we're
long
looking
way
for.
since the ancient times when they began to be used. We have been,
Ancient times, huh?
yes, we have been using gas for thousands of years in such manners.
Huh. Interesting.
Many uses for this. We could use it to like cook food, cook bodies, clear jungles,
Thousands
commit
of
war
years.
crimes.
Exactly.
No war crimes. No war crimes. We're part of the Air Force.
You kind of skip the
Wait, are
burning.
there war crimes? We have not had thousands of years. Well, 1,000 years.
Long story.
Close enough.
Well, I mean, we should get the flamethrower. Okay. I
It
have
is good
so
big.
many questions for you. I have so many questions for you, Koronov.
I
Thousands
could
of
say the
years?
same.
Really?
I believe this will be start of a good business partnership. Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Mutually beneficial.
All right.
I would, I didn't talk to him about this out of game, so I actually don't know the answer to this question. But if he has armor on him, you might want to check and see about armor. Because there are some nice armors in the Star Wars universe.
I'm aware of that. The Katarn armor is one of my personal favorites. However, I'm just wearing a flight suit at the moment.
So you don't have any in stock?
I mean, I'm more of a guns guy than a armor guy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, but
Now-
like, I could pull some up, but like they're more of a rarity thing, which is why I'm not having like armor as much. But like, I also have some forms of protection for you know, survivability purposes if you do get into a firefight, but that stock is more limited.
Sean Jericho speaks up and he says, actually, I know of a place here in town. I've been here before, and they sell some armor. In this screenshot I just sent you, ignore Stormtrooper armor. That does not exist. Does not
I mean,
exist.
clone trooper armor does kind of exist, just you don't know about it yet.
We don't know about clone troopers. What's a clone trooper?
No,
Exactly.
yep. We should leave it at that. So ignore the Stormtrooper armor one. That one doesn't exist.
Okay.
But the others do. And so you see the armor class plus your dex modifier for some of them. So it may be worth getting some.
Yeah.
And then this is an additional one that I have carried over on the edge of the Empire tabletop. You can get heavy clothes, which is just another +1 to your AC, and you can wear them under your armor. So you can get heavy clothes and have one more armor class if you want.
My armor class is already 12,
So that's an option. But he knows of a shop in town where you can get these. He says the name of the place, if I remember correct, is let's see here. I think he scratches his head. Rob's Unnecessarily Strange Items. I just took the wrong name. Hey, sorry. I'm going to retcon that. That was the wrong name. The name of the place is Bits and Bobs. Right next door is Dodjo's Pokey Sticks, if you want to try to search for other more standardized weapons. But they're definitely weaker than what we just picked up. So you want to go to Bits and Bobs if you're going to get armor. Yes. He says it's... And along that same street is one of my favorite bars, the Woozy Porg. That's a good one.
The Woozy Porg?
The Woozy Porg.
Woozy Porg? Oh. Okay.
You remember what a Porg is?
No. Is it the little
things from Last Jedi?
Okay.
It's the little
okay.
adorable Chewbacca chicken.
Chewbacca chicken? Hold on. Oh, I don't remember those.
They're in the newer movies. I don't know if they were in the universe before that, but I was.
They were not.
Oh, well, now I feel dumb. But
yeah, they were added because they were shooting on location for Last Jedi and needed a CGI way of editing out the puffins.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like they could have either like scanned them out or like CG'd them into an alien. So they CG'd them into an alien and made a bunch of merchandise off it because cutesy aliens.
Well, I was just looking for something. I had about an hour to fill in some extra story today, so that's where I came up with this. Anyway, that's his favorite bar is the Woozy Porg. But anyway, there's Bits and Bobs may have some armor, some used armor. So it might be a little bit tattered. It might be at a lower price. Okay. Sounds like you guys are not all that interested in that option.
No, sorry, I was super distracted.
He gave us discount like armor shop and bar.
Okay. I didn't realize you were muted. Okay.
Yeah, some armor would probably be nice. Like maybe just a padded suit. You never know when you're going to need extra padding.
I was just thinking, like, you'd think that SGC would have reverse engineered Cull armor by this point.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'd probably have some Jaffa armor, frankly.
Their form of fighting doesn't really utilize armor. So
yeah,
that's.
But I also now have a melee weapon and would like a little bit more AC.
If, in case you forgot, there are the trinium plates you can get, which I pinned to this channel a while back. Wrong channel. In the SG53 channel. In the Stargate Phoenix channel, there is some trinium plates that you can get, but that's at Earth. You're not on Earth, so.
Yes. Okay, so that's
now,
the player's handbook.
Don't forget, the enemies you're going to go either fight or otherwise take the abducted children from are extremely powerful. They are, most people in this galaxy that have heard of them would be unwilling to ever face them and would be scared to death if they came in contact with one. So,
we're going up against the BBEG.
You're going up against something that is quite powerful and fear-inducing.
Oh.
You know what? I think when we get back to the ship, I'll get myself a trinium plate.
I guess there might be a limited supply on this ship. That would make sense. Let me check and see what the stats are on that one because I don't remember offhand. The premium plate. Wait, got
So,
it.
you seem to be looking for a fair amount of hardware. What is it you're expecting to find?
You know.
For training.
They don't really know.
I mean, we you know, we don't know. How do I say this?
Interesting.
Child kidnappers. We're
You
gonna kill
see
him.
Cornell just pause and how can I
Yeah.
help?
No? What do you think, Colonel? Do you think we should introduce him to Commander Cole?
I think they should. He could be a very helpful help. Okay.
What do you say, Kornov? Do you want to come to our ship? Talk to our leader? Our head leader. Well, I mean, not General O'Neill. He's back on Earth, but...
General, you are in military?
The armor. I'm colonel.
Ah,
Yes. We are in what's called the Earth Air Force, specifically from the United States, which is one of the countries on that planet. That planet has approximately 186 countries, and the United States is one of the most powerful. We are making interstellar contact. And let's just say righting some wrongs.
I would say I see, but that would be lying, and I do not like lying to customers. I'm assuming you will explain more along the way.
Yeah, Commander
You
Cole.
are very interesting people to have met.
Right back at you.
Thank you.
And I like
I
wink.
guess.
I wink, and I'm not charismatic at all. It's just like goofy.
Bonnie's just goofy in
thank-
general.
He's kind of still just taken aback, but also okay.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and Jericho has definitely been contributing to this conversation, explaining that basically we're going to save his daughter Lily, and he hasn't seen her in 2 years, and this is his best lead on where she is, and he would be indebted to anyone who helps him. So.
And we're trying to make a little bit of a name for Earthens in the galaxy. We will Tauri. Yeah, okay, Tauri.
Let us not forget.
You didn't mean literal name.
No,
You meant
we're making a
reputation.
name for ourselves. Yeah.
I took you literally for a second.
How dare you?
Too bad.
Yes, I believe that it would be good for me to make the acquaintance of this Colonel.
All right.
Shall we meet in orbit, or do you have alternate? Where did you park?
We didn't need to part.
Here's the thing, we don't have to. He pulls out his GPS locator and says, "Oh, you guys ready to go? And I can call it in."
Yeah, we're ready to go.
It says,
Let's head out of the hangar.
Captain Jericho to Colonel Cole.
Yeah,
You
I
come in?
key I key the ship to lock up again.
Yeah. Lock the ship. We're good. Okay.
He says, and Colonel Cole calls down and says, Yep, I hear you, Captain. What can I do for you?" He says, "We're ready to beam up." And then and Colonel Cole says, "Stand by, beaming in 2 seconds." And
Beam me up, Scotty.
Jericho gathers you all together upon the GPS locator. And I imagine Cornell probably has a weird look on his face, what's going on?
That's pretty much
Come over
exactly
here.
what's going
Come
on.
over
It's
here.
like
Huddle up.
I'm still kind of flummoxed and
It's alright. It'll make
then
sense
weird.
in a
I'm
second.
kind of wondering if Cornell was like, is she into me or something? What is going on here?
And then before that question goes any further in your mind, you're surrounded by a warm light and you find yourself in a different location on board the bridge of the Freya.
I just what was that? Where are we?
Welcome to the
Welcome
Freya.
to the Freya.
Colonel Cole stands up and he walks over to you, reaches his hand out to shake your hand,
You.
which probably is something you wouldn't understand.
Nah,
He reaches
there
up
are
to shake your
handshakes in
hand.
Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Fair handshakes.
Like, welcome to the Freya. I'm Colonel Cole. It's a pleasure to have you aboard.
Like, you can see, like, Koronov is just like, what is going on? It's like, just jaw agape, he kind of, like, absent-mindedly accepts the handshake.
And Cole says, we haven't asked, but if you have a ship, we have space in our hangar, if you'd like.
Hangar? How big is this ship?
It's a
Reasonably
small hangar,
sized.
but I'm
Reasonably
pretty sure
sized.
they would fit your ship. Or we don't need to get into specifics of that much, you know. That don't need to be quite that granular. So if you want, he could beam you back down. You could get your ship and come fly it up, and we don't have to role play that. But just mentioning it in case you wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to accept that, but I'm going to, like, want to roleplay out a conversation a bit first.
Awesome.
'Cause, like,
I love it. I love it.
Okay, before I agree to anything, what is going on?
Lonnie's over here just dying of laughter. She's like, welcome to the command ship we have here in your galaxy. This is our highest leader.
My galaxy?
Yes,
You come
okay.
from another galaxy?
Yeah. Don't
Not
do
too
it.
far away.
We do it all the time. It's no biggie for us.
It's not like, well, okay. It's a bit of a long story, but
Not really.
Yeah.
We come from a long way from here, Cole says. They are not native to this region of the galaxy, or of the universe.
So
Oh, hey! I bet at some point you're gonna get to meet Walt with that flamethrower.
Oh, yes. Well, Cole, let's just say, like, Walt comes through while you guys are talking, and he's in humanoid form, so he's walking over. And he sees Koronov, the Zygerian, and he says, "You look human enough to me. My name is Walt. Sworn to protect Earth and her allies."
Koronov, I am happy to meet your acquaintance. Like, I look back at the rest of SG-53 like, okay.
He reaches
Yeah, he's
out his
annoyed.
robotic arm to shake your hand.
Like, I look down at it and it's like, I shake his hand. It's like, you're not an endroid I recognize. I suppose I should not be surprised at this given where I'm standing. But,
Yes,
It's
I do
okay,
not
he doesn't
recognize
bite.
you either, but that is okay. If you are a friend of my friends, then you are my friend.
And if you're an enemy of my friends, you're an enemy, right?
Yep, the enemy of my friends is my enemy.
And if you're the enemy of our enemies, then you must
my
be a
friend.
friend.
Enough of this.
Sorry,
You were
Commander.
mocking me, Lonnie.
Yeah, I am. Let's
All
do
right.
ya.
Out of character, it's 5 o'clock. They're closing in a half hour. This might be a good place to stop.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
so.
So,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
it
we're
was
just
short.
going to say that after a few more introductions, you agree that Koronov's going to fly the Liberator into the hangar bay of the Freya.
Fantastic.
All right.
And is there anything else we want to go over before I end the recording?
Well,
I think
what are
that
we doing
covers
next session?
Mhm.
What are we doing next session? Can we have a little preview? Or do you not know?
Next session, you continue on
Depends
your
on
path.
who's available, from what I understand.
We'll transfer the star chart over from the Liberator to the Freya. So you will now have a point of reference to follow the star map to Olympus. And then you
Yay, Matt!
can, basically, this was your gearing up session and my excuse to bring in Koronov.
All right. So we
Yep.
just went shopping and had a good time, and next time we're gonna go kick some butt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
D&D shopping always takes a long time.
All
Okay,
right.
I'm gonna end it.